everyone. Welcome. We are here with Facebook Live, and we are here with Hollie Williams. I'm not sure which way to point, but Hollie Williams, who is here. And Hollie and I met at a Facebook, was it Facebook Advantage? Hollie, is that what it was called?
Facebook
Weekend
Live.
Facebook Advantage Live with Rick Mulready. And we decided, okay, let's put together a fun chat where we can talk about Facebook ads. All ads, nothing but ads. All the questions that you have, throw them at us. And we might not be able to answer them all, but you know, that's one thing about Facebook ads. Every time I go in there, there's something different.
Oh my gosh, like almost every day it seems like.
Yeah, I know. And it's, you know, you and I have talked about it. They're always coming up with some new thing. And they change the wording of it or the way it's laid out. But the good thing is, the good thing is, like, once you're kind of familiar with any social platform, it's just a matter of looking, and you should be able to find things.
You can find it. It's just a little investigative work. But...
Yeah, they make us work for it. Maybe that's it. Facebook is trying to keep us sharp.
Right. It doesn't exercise in that, so.
Yeah, but we are going to talk about, and Hollie, you throw in anything else, but as we were chatting beforehand, I was coming up with what are some of the things. I'm going to actually put your name here. And then if we get questions, if you guys have questions in the audience, throw them out, and then we'll add those in. But I wanted to talk about, you know, the question I get most often is, should I boost a post? So we're going to call this going beyond the boost. Beyond the boost or promoted page. Like, those two seem to be the easy go-tos because Facebook keeps encouraging us to do that. And then we're going to talk about the difference between Power Editor and Ads Manager. What is the difference and why you should use one over the other, and how to use Audience Insights. I'm in Audience Insights all the time, even when I'm not running ads. Yeah, I love it when I'm building out a strategy for a new client. We go into Audience Insights and just get all kinds of great info on identifying that persona that we want to target. And so we use Audience Insights a lot. And then we'll talk about the objectives. What are the different, because that's where it gets confusing, is what are the different objectives? Which one should I pick? So so if you think of other things, throw them out. If people have questions, throw those in here, and we'll get to those too. But I mean, you and I, we do a lot of, we do the similar type of work. I mean, both of us, which I think is kind of funny because people are always worried about, I don't want to post things, or I don't want to share things that my competition will see, or I would never work with my competitor. And I find that kind of funny because unless you personally and your business could handle all the business out there, like, there has to be other people doing what you do. There's no way. I
actually ran into that yesterday with someone not wanting another realtor on their site. Like, that kind of is, to me, no, it's. Yeah.
I get that a lot. We have a couple realtor clients, and they get upset when, we have one that gets upset when somebody retweets her stuff because she says, well, that's kind of stealing my content.
That's flattering.
That's called social media. Like, we have to be social. And as long as they're crediting you, you know, you get that. You're getting credit for it.
You know, that causes their stuff to be served out more. So you're looking for that, really. That's
right. Absolutely. It only helps you. And you and I feel like in our business, it takes a village. It takes a huge community of us sharing information. And when we were talking about Facebook ads, it's like, you can't really go it alone because there's so many changes. There's so many little intricacies that maybe I've not run into and you've run into, and just the ability to share that type of information is helpful. So
that's one of the things that was amazing about meeting and going to that conference, because to me, I was a little island, you know, until you meet other people that are doing it, and, you know, maybe they have the similar problems, or they come up with something you wouldn't have even thought to do, because it's kind of a world of stuff.
Right. Right. So so we're gonna share some information that we have on Facebook ads. You, if you're watching, throw out questions that you have about Facebook ads, and let's see if we can all learn together. But let's tackle that first question that we get all the time: is, you know, should I just boost a post, or is that a waste of money? And my first thought is it is a waste of money, but then I always go, well, unless. You know,
yes, there's definitely an unless. I'm not totally anti the boost, because I know some people are.
Right.
So You just need to know why you're doing it. Like basically when you hit the boost that Facebook feeds you that's really easy to find on your page, that is just for the post engagement only.
Don't you get every day now, Facebook sends you these messages saying, hey, your post is doing 95% better than everyone else's post. You should boost it to reach more. Or you might boost it for $2 and then they're going to come back saying, hey, if you put in more money, you can reach X number of people. Yeah. So it's very enticing. And I think you should jump in and boost that. But I love what you said is first know why. Yeah. What is your point for people seeing that post?
So you've spoken about kind of the reverse engineering, and that one, I come across a lot of people that don't know that they have other options, I guess, like that is only working on that particular post pretty much.
Right. That doesn't necessarily mean that more people outside of your Facebook world see it.
And if you're going for likes or traffic to your website or something like that, it's really not going to get you there unless you get into the Ad Manager Power Editor to do it.
Right. And so, boosting a post, I always say, when is it okay to boost a post? Let's say that you have an event that you're hosting, and maybe it's a webinar or a live event, and you're trying to get as many people there as possible. Then I would want to do 2 ads. One, boosting a post, because you want all your current fans to see that post. Yes. But then you have the audience of people who don't know about you, or they're not fans of your page. That would be a different audience to target.
Yeah. And I actually have run into a little bit of people boosting it and they target it toward their location, but that's it. So there's just so much more to it than location.
Yeah. And so I just think, whether to boost a post, just keep, like you said, keeping in mind when you boost a post, you're only taking that post and Facebook is saying, we will show this to more of your target audience, but it's not going to get you more sales unless you do a little more targeting. Right. It's still not going to achieve. Now, how about promoting your page, like getting more likes to a page? Have you used that, or what do you think about that?
I still go through Ads Manager or Power Editor to construct that ad, like to build those and kind of get do more targeting. But I do think there is something to building your following. There's nothing wrong with using that if you know that's what you're going after. And a lot of times I do that in conjunction with something else like page likes, and if it's like a local business, maybe brand awareness as well.
Right. And it's interesting because recently we ran a contest for one of our clients, and their objective for the contest was purely more likes on the page. That was why they were running the contest. So then we had to look at if that's our goal, because what happened was then we started running the contest and the post itself was doing well. And the client said, should we boost the post? And I said, well, let's look at what our objective was. Our objective is getting more likes to your page. So if we boost this post, it's going to go to more fans that you already have. So it doesn't make sense to boost the post if your goal is getting more likes. Let's take the money that you were going to spend and let's send that to a very targeted, maybe a lookalike audience, people who look like the people who already like your page. And so we talk through that just to help them understand that boosting the post won't help them achieve the goal of more likes. So I think all of it is just questioning every time you go to spend money. Okay, why am I wanting to do this?
Yes.
Will this get me that? Will that really get me? And true, when you boost a post, it could be reaching the friends of your fans. But I always tell people that is really bad targeting, because if I'm a fan of your page, my mom is a friend of your, like, you don't want the, not that you don't want my mom, but truly, you don't want people that are friends of somebody's,
that's very vague.
It's not the right target. It's not the way to target. Yeah. So be careful when you're saying friends of fans. Some people that are friends of mine on Facebook would not even be close to being your target audience. So targeting your friends of fans or whatever that is when you boost a post may be way off target for you. So like you said, go in, do a little targeting. Now, fairly new to Facebook, you can go on your page, and I'm trying to remember where it is because we went into our pages, and you can have Facebook show your page, and this isn't in an ad, this is just in your Facebook page area, and it's in your settings. And I want to say, I'd have to look up. I wonder if I can do that while I'm on here. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I vaguely know what you're talking about. Yes, I've looked at this with a client, but it's been a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, you go in and you create your ideal audience setup so that when Facebook recommends other pages to people, your page will show up to the right audience. And you can go in and start doing a little audience insight work on your page. And of course, it's not letting me just jump right over like I thought. Oh, there we go. I'm pretty sure it's under your settings. And I don't want to get us too off base here.
No, I'm trying to kind of look at it with you too. Let's see.
But in your, yeah, here it is. In your settings, targeting ability, or no, that's not it. Oh, it's right. Oh, there it is. It's called preferred page audience. So when you go into settings on your business page, on the left-hand side, it's about halfway down, preferred page audience. And all that is doing is, again, helping to start targeting the right people to have Facebook show, even when you're not running ads. But what I found is then when I go to, like if you go to just run an ad, it'll already have your audience somewhat identified based on the things that I chose in there. So I thought that was interesting that they're trying to help get the right people to see your page.
Right.
Yeah.
These are good of help.
Yeah, to me, that's really helpful. So doing a little, and you and I have talked about this, doing a little homework before.
Yes. Oh, okay. So you talked about ideas in the shower. So my notepad.
Is that the one that you bring in the shower?
Right in the rain. Yes.
Oh, I love it. Right in the rain.
For your ideas in the shower.
We talked about, yeah, I always listen to podcasts while I'm in the shower. You got to maximize your time.
Right.
Like, hey, what can I do while I'm in the shower washing my hair? And we talked about, I always come up with ideas. So writing in the shower, we need to jot down these things.
But maybe don't take your laptop in the shower. So back to that, what you were saying.
I have a life-proof case, which makes my phone waterproof. So I can bring it, but I don't bring it into the shower, but I have it where I can, it's set near there where I can hear it. But taking time to plan, that's probably the number one reason why people don't run an ad, because it's quick and easy to click boost.
Yes.
What's some of the pre-work that you've done before running an ad?
I mean, I think investigating the competition a little bit, and you mentioned audience insights, and just the whole concept of reverse engineering makes a lot of sense. Like start with, what are you trying to do? What's your goal? What do you really want? And then look at what's available to you. To me, I didn't look at what's available in the objectives, and look at audience insights to look at competition and what else. And I think you use that a lot.
Which is interesting because probably 6 months ago or so, I started doing this where if you go to your competitors' websites, and now we always do this for our clients, so we're going to our clients' competitors' websites, but same thing, if I go to my competitors' websites, you're going to be pixeled, which means your website is cookied. So I try to go to websites that I know are running ads on Facebook. Because what's going to happen if I visit that website, I'm going to start seeing, sometimes immediately, an ad when I log into Facebook for that company. So most people would go, oh, I don't want that. I don't want to be cookied or pixeled. But when you're in marketing, you better be doing this as homework. Go to those websites, get pixeled, and then you can start taking screenshots of the ads that you see. Because to me, that's part of the homework is go back through and look at which ads caught your attention.
I take a lot of screenshots on my phone.
Yeah, because then you can tell. It's like, okay, this one was really good, or okay, this one was horrible. Like, I can't believe they spent money and use that.
Some of them speak to just what we've been talking about. Like, I'll get something about, I don't know, something I'm just absolutely not interested in, and that they didn't do their targeting right.
That's right. Right. Yeah. So it's like, okay, what did I do that I was pixeled or that they thought that I was the target audience for that product.
Right.
But I was telling someone the other day, remember the old days before Facebook algorithm was so smart, I would log in and I would see Viagra ads all down the side of my page. You know, and so it's one of those things that you go, okay, thankfully now when I log in, I'm seeing stuff I want to see, not stuff that has no relevance.
You know, I didn't realize quite how spoiled that I am on that until the other day. I was watching just TV, and so they keep showing, well, first off, the same ads, but also they show me things I'm just completely not interested in, and it made me realize how spoiled that I am from my feed.
Right, because when we log in, on social media. Now, some people get creeped out by that. They're like, oh, somebody's watching me. It's like, no, they just know based on where you've been, and if they're doing a good job, you're not seeing products you just bought, which I think that's weird too. But that goes into a whole nother thing, which I didn't put on my thing, but getting the right pixel on your website is really important. Whether you're running ads yet, I always tell people when you first get your website going, make sure you add that Facebook pixel on your, and if you don't even know what that means, just have your web developer, get the Facebook pixel, because this is something that I didn't know in the beginning, but your Facebook page, every Facebook page has its own pixel. That pixel has to be put on your website. So for example, if I'm managing a bunch of clients, they can't have my pixel.
Right.
Just because I'm running their ads, because then Facebook's going, well, that's weird. Now you're targeting people who like this type of software, or now you're targeting people who do yoga. And it was like, who are you? So yeah, that's really important, is making sure your targeting pixel from your Facebook page is on your website. So every account needs every Facebook account needs its own pixel.
Which is actually like a 5-minute fix for a web person. I mean, you give them the pixel and it is a quick deal.
Yeah. And if you go into your Facebook ads manager, and yesterday I did a video with a screenshot of showing where to find tools. And if you go into your either ads manager or Power Editor, you'll see tools, and in there it shows you your pixel. You know, you can click on pixel and it gives you the code, give it to your web person and say, put this where it needs to go. You know, they'll know what to do with it.
I actually watched that video that you're talking about, and I love that you call it a cheeseburger instead of a hamburger, because yes, it's got to have cheese.
You can't have a hamburger. And some people have never heard it called a hamburger. I was like, I think that's been around for a long time, that people call a 3 little line menu a hamburger.
3 lines and 2s.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what is the difference in your view of the difference between Power Editor and Ads Manager?
So you may be more expert at this than me, but I use Ad Manager a lot actually, and it kind of depends on what you're trying to do. But Power Editor I do use. The reason I don't use it more is because it can be a little glitchy unless you're using it for what you really need to be. But you can do bulk editing in there. Like if you have a bunch of ads you want to do the same change to, or if you want to duplicate an ad and make 10 of it as opposed to just, starting over, it's more efficient.
And that's what I've really come to. And I now make myself work in Power Editor. I think part of it was because I was so intimidated by Power Editor, because there's so many choices and different places you can edit and get down to a more granular level. That it just was overwhelming. And I just thought, why would anybody be in Power Editor when you can go to Ads Manager and it's super simple to set it up, until we started setting up a lot more ads. Yes. And exactly what you said, if later, so for example, this contest, we're running a contest, we're running a series of ads. Some ads are retargeting people who visit their website. Some ads are targeting a lookalike audience of their current customer base. So we upload all of their email addresses in, and Facebook says, oh, let's find people who look like these people in our algorithm, and we'll target those people. So because we had all these different audiences, but the same type of ads, that's where Power Editor comes in, because you can just duplicate and change one little thing all at once instead of going in and tweaking every single ad. Or reworking and setting them up. So to me, Power Editor became where I create the ads, and then now I just go to Ads Manager when I want to see the performance of the ad after. But But you can't set up and run an ad in Ads Manager. So it is kind of confusing. Like, well, then why wouldn't you just do that?
I think Ad Manager has a lot more of the features now. Like there used to be a greater divide between the two. So It has more features, but when something rolls out, you'll definitely see it in Power Editor first. If you can't figure out something that you think you should have, that's where to look.
You look in Power Editor, but that is the main difference. If someone were trying to explain it to you, is just Power Editor is where you set up all your ads. And if you're running lots of ads, you definitely want to be in Power Editor because there's just better control over tweaking things in there, which always reminds me of the thing that I think the one thing I really took away from that weekend, there were lots of great nuggets, but never pause an ad, make the tweaks and restart it. I didn't know that.
I did not either. And I did not
know because, I mean, Facebook, again, they almost encourage you to add more budget to this ad once it's done. Yeah. And Rick was saying, never pause an ad and then maybe 2 days later restart that same ad with more money because the algorithm will be thrown off saying, oh, well, for 2 weeks, there's been nobody that's liked this ad. Right. And so it throws off the way the algorithm works. So always start and run an ad or stop it completely and start a brand new one. You could duplicate an ad. So that was one big takeaway. But yeah, the differences between the two, I kind of got that going, okay, I need to just make myself work in an area that I'm uncomfortable until I learn it. And Power Editor was one of those things going, I need to make myself learn this. And I think what's weird is there are clear tabs for your campaign, your ad set, and your ads. But for some reason, I couldn't see those tabs. My brain had blocked my view of them or something because I was going, where the heck is how do you edit the ad set? And I couldn't edit. Oh, clearly there's a tab right there.
I actually think they've made that easier though, right? Like that wasn't always quite as clear.
They've made it easier. I still find it a little bit hard unless you know, which that is a good point to understand in your ad setup. There's 3 stages. You know, you have your campaign, which is identify your objective. And you can name these whatever you want. So I always tell people now is make sure you're really specific with what you name your ad campaigns and ad sets and ads. So when you go back and look at 50 ads, you know, a year from now, you see clearly which one it was. But anyway, so you have your campaign, which is just what's your objective. Then you have your ad set, and that is identifying the audience and the budget pretty much. You know, your audience and budget is under your ad set. And I always say these are like, your big umbrella is your campaign. Then you have this little umbrella of ad set. So you identify your budget and your audience. And then under your ad set, you can create lots of ads. Like I was saying, one ad targeting this group, one ad targeting this group. Well, I can create lots of ads, but they're all under the same umbrellas.
Especially good for testing different images or something slight like that, like on the ad level.
Right.
Yeah, just seeing who responds better to what. Like sometimes I've created like, you know, really nice professional photos, and what the audience responds better to is actually like a very organic.
Yeah, so weird. Like it'll be a picture of you going, and that's the picture that'll do really well. It's so bizarre. I tested that. I'm like, okay, seriously, the screenshot of the video, the thumbnail that's the absolute most horrifying is the one that everybody clicks on. You're like, why? But it's been proven that it's because it looks more like something you'd see in our news. It's not so polished. Yeah. So yeah, tweaking little things helps when you divide them into separate ads. So then you really can measure. Whether you're measuring the image or whether you're measuring the copy, a tweak in the copy, or a lot of times they'll say, we're trying to build an audience in Ireland for one client. So we chose Ireland, and then we had also US and Canada. So we made separate ads so that we could test which one, you know, what was the cost just to acquire a lead in Ireland? What's the cost to acquire a lead in this country or this city? And so those...
about that. Was it vastly different?
It was more expensive in Ireland, and more expensive definitely in UK. It's expensive. Canada's more expensive. But if you go into English speaking countries, and if you're selling a product that they can purchase online, this is where kind of sometimes our clients don't think about, why does it have to be US audience? If people can click and download and pay for it, does it have to be a US audience? So again, questioning all of those things, we realized, oh, we could actually target some other English-speaking countries that had a lower cost per click. Yeah. So we ran some tests on things like that, and you can do that and really get the data around those ads. So, which is always good. Okay, retargeting benefits. Do you do a lot of retargeting?
Yes, and I've kind of gotten into it more and more. Here's a silly thing that I was unaware of from a takeaway from Rick's classes. Retargeting video views of certain links, like someone who watched 95% of a video. How valuable is that?
Oh my gosh, that day I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought to go in and set up a custom audience.
Right
when you're done with the video, to say, whoever watched this video, they're interested in that topic. Why not create a separate audience to target just those people with something similar? Yeah, which that is really interesting. Again, that goes into part of the pre-work, setting up custom audiences all the time. Like Rick was saying, he has, I don't remember now, was it like 500 or something custom audiences?
Yeah, and you can actually update it, on the fly, like upload a list and it knows which things are new, so you can keep kind of working on the same audience. Mm-hmm.
So if you think of custom audiences, could be people who already like your website. I want to create a custom audience of people who like my website or have visited my website. Maybe I want another custom audience that says people who are like a lookalike audience of people who are on my website. So it's like so many things. Yeah, that you can, we were doing a webinar for a client that they were trying to build new leads. And I said, okay, well, let's target a lookalike audience of people on your website. And they said, well, the people on our that visit our website are probably already leads. I said, oh no, this is a lookalike. So Facebook knows, here's the different, it's weird to think how they know this, but here's all the places that they visit, and here's how much, they just know so much about those people who have visited your website. And then they take all those data points and say, let's find other people in Facebook land who have similar data points. That's a lookalike audience. And all of a sudden you've got, brand new leads.
Yes.
And that's
cool, because you can apply it to anything too. You can take that and apply it to the video views. You can apply it to your email list. I have a beach house rental that we apply it to past renters, and they're from all over. So, it helps kind of.
Yeah. What I love, MailChimp, if you use MailChimp, I don't know why it's only MailChimp, but in Facebook, you can go in and say, create a custom audience from my email lists. So I can say, I want my client list, or maybe I have one that's a special list, and Facebook already integrates with MailChimp. Like you can choose MailChimp, and there's all the lists right there that you have, and it'll pull those in. You can also create a custom audience from other email services, but you have to upload them.
That kind of speaks to something, I don't know how much you want to touch on it, but the segmenting, like to be able to speak to someone who just watched a particular video, or someone who looks like that audience, or just particular customer of a particular product or something, to be able to kind of speak directly is really valuable.
It is, and it's hard because it's time consuming, but when you start looking at planning out, whether it's email sequencing after someone becomes a lead, I want these emails to go, the more we can speak more targeted to them, the better. And when you're doing your ads, why not have an ad that's, and this is where it does get tricky, because Rick kept warning, you can't put, hey, I noticed that you just bought those shoes.
Yes.
Because the user doesn't want to be creeped out, but you could say, hey, shoe lover. And that would get my attention if I just, if I were purchasing shoes, and I don't know why I would use that as an example, but like, okay, I guess I like shoes, but so you can't say, hey, I noticed you just did this, because that's creepy, but you can say, hey, shoe lover, or hey, moms. And yet you can't say, if you're a mother of I wonder if you could say if you're a mother of a teen, because you're still asking, are you a mother of a teen, versus you have teenagers. And I would be, how do you, but yeah, what's weird? I get the ads that say your birthday's in August, and they have t-shirts that say like August something on them. I don't know what site I visited, but I get those a lot. So they're basically, they know my birth date because they're putting that out there in an ad that then customizes. And I've seen things that say Gina on the ad. So they're taking my name. So I don't know how that gets approved, and some of these other wordings don't.
That's one of the only things that I've seen that actually did creep me out. Like it was a t-shirt, and the t-shirt was actually, formed out, and it said, I'm just a Mississippi girl living in the South Carolina world. So they knew I had moved from one place to another.
You lived in Mississippi and that you were in South Carolina. That is, those data points are available in so many places, so they could know that. But that gets to the creep factor, and I'm surprised that got passed. Yeah. Because your ad can be rejected because of things like that.
I actually talked to, not too long ago, a rep at Facebook when I was having trouble with an ad, and I sneaked in this question. So in talking to them, they actually told me not to use the word you, like do you this or you. So if you can use language that is not including the word you or your.
Shoe lover instead of are you a shoe lover? Huh.
Yeah. And they will actually.
Girl.
Right. And they'll actually flag it themselves too. It's not just that people don't like it. Like they try to pick up on the things that people don't like. So they'll kind of stop it from delivering as much.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. There's little things, again, that I don't always know why that happens, but I do know that you're going to get some ads that get rejected. I mean, it used to be we couldn't put any text on an image in Facebook, and now it'll get passed, but it may not get as great of a performance. And yet, if you do a video, have the video have text across the video, that's okay. That's not counted as text on your image. So, if you're trying to get something across and you want someone to click on your video, make sure you have something across the video that is a bold statement or something that's going to attract people if you're going to use video ads. So there's always some little hack to get things done, but don't try to hack Facebook, because you could get,
No.
You could get in trouble. We just had somebody ask us today on our business page. We get a lot of people that are having issues with their Facebook pages, and somebody got a violation, and he's wanting to know, if I merge my two pages, will my violation follow me? I'm like, whoa, I do not know that one. I've never had that.
I will say that if anything ever gets flagged, even if it's an error, like I kind of had an appeals process with them, and they acknowledged that there was nothing wrong, that it was accidentally flagged, but it still affects the account. I've actually been talking to them a little bit because it slows down the delivery from then on. I guess it has to go through more checks or something, because it just doesn't perform as well.
Yeah, I've only been thrown in Facebook jail once, and it was years ago. But I was literally banned from even logging into Facebook for, I think, like 48 hours. Yeah, I wrote a post about, gosh, now I don't even remember what it was, but the picture I used, and it wasn't in an ad, it was just a Facebook post, was a little girl. She had a little t-shirt on, but she was sitting on a potty chair. So her pants were pulled down. It was a side view of her on the potty chair, and it got flagged for nudity.
Oh my God.
And I was banned, and then it says you can't log in for 24 hours. Well, of course, I tried to log in, and if you try to log in, you get like extended time. Like they were throwing me in the slammer for a longer time.
How long were you locked out of it?
I want to say it was 2 days. Which,
oh my gosh,
when that's your business,
yes,
that's a long time.
Yes.
So, which is why I always tell people, always have more than one admin on your Facebook page, because I got locked out, but someone else on our page could still go in there and manage that page.
Yes.
Just because I couldn't log in. But I couldn't log into anything Facebook related. It was like I had shackles on.
I would have a panic attack, I think, with all the...
And then it was funny because then I wrote a post about being in Facebook jail, and I promoted that post on Facebook, so it was kind of funny.
That is funny. I guess sometimes I wonder if it's kind of like bots that go out, like it's like recognition software, so it doesn't really know the difference.
It's gotta be. It can't be that a human is looking at that many images. I mean, it just can't be. It's gotta be the computer, and I know there are a lot of people that they'll argue me and say, no, there's a person and they're against me and they don't like my stuff, and I'm like, you are giving yourself way too much credit.
Yeah.
It is just it's a computer generated. They scan pictures. It gets flagged. And like you said, if you get flagged a couple times, then you might go into someone actually looking through to see what you're what are you selling? What are you doing? But
Yeah.
yeah, the world of Facebook ads is not easy, but it's doable.
It is doable, and it's just about trying to maximize your efforts and your money. Like just hitting the boost button is, like we said, it's not terrible to boost, but just hitting the boost button without some thought behind it is kind of wasting some of your money.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to make sure we covered is the 3 types of objectives, because that is a point of confusion. When you're in Facebook, the objectives they give you are 1, awareness. So awareness would be trying to drive more people to your page. You know, I just want people to become well-known, because that's under traffic.
Awareness is really more like reach and brand awareness, I think.
Yeah, so it's just getting your thing in front of people's eyeballs, not necessarily them clicking on things. So you're paying for impressions, not clicks. So awareness, when would you use an awareness objective?
So I do use that for local businesses. I use both brand awareness and reach, and it's really just like, it's kind of a more traditional, I guess, ad approach. But if you really do just want to serve that, like I have a neighborhood bike shop. So I serve reach within certain neighborhoods and areas because I just want them all to know he's there. So we do some of that. We do some other objectives as well. But there's a little bit of that just kind of put, and it is, I mean, I do targeting, but
you'll target, but you're not trying to get people to click on things. You're just saying, I want this to show on their Facebook page.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's awareness, and then there's consideration, which I think is a really weird term.
It is.
For this. Like, okay, I was even trying to think of why would they choose the word consideration? Because under consideration as your objective, that's where you have, like, I want traffic to a website, or I want people to download my app and install it. So then I would choose the consideration. Under consideration, there's app installs. Video views, if I'm trying to drive more traffic to a video, that falls under consideration.
I'd word it.
Yeah. And I guess it's because there's no action they're taking on the video except watching it. So that falls under that consideration.
That makes sense.
But the one that throws people off, I think, a lot is lead generation. So when we think lead generation, we think, oh, they're filling out something or they've downloaded an object. But lead generation on Facebook, I just stay away from it because it's not taking them to a lead page. It's just within Facebook, they can click, I want more information. And then you have a bunch of messages that you have to respond to and send people whatever. So I'm not sure why someone would use that unless they just are not using anything else to set up.
I don't use that one, and I haven't really talked to anyone who feels like that is super successful for them right now. That's just in my world, but I haven't heard great things about that. That's not to say you can't generate leads starting with Facebook.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the key. If you're not using lead pages, if you're not using ClickFunnels, if you're not using one of these other lead capturing tools that help you set up landing pages, Facebook does have the ability to choose lead generation, but then know that you then have to contact the person who said they wanted information. You have to go in and pull that information and then manually send it. But you know, when you're starting out, I guess that's a good one. And then the third objective is the conversion. And that's usually if you're trying to get people to download something, sign up for something, buy something in your store, your online store, then you would choose conversion because then you can put in a URL to say track. And I only want to pay, you know, when somebody clicks on this link or ends up at this thank you page or something.
Right.
So that tends to be the one if I have to look at how many ads I've done, most of them are under the conversion or the awareness umbrella.
Yeah, I do a lot. I actually run traffic, and I do use the engagement, which is also under consideration to get page likes, to do page likes ads.
That's true. That's under that consideration. Yeah.
And also, maybe is okay to mention the sometimes I do under engagement again, which is under consideration. Is you can boost a post, kind of, you know, like post engagement.
That's true. So you're getting more traffic to that particular post.
Which is great to get social proof on and then take that and run as a different objective.
Yeah. See, that is something that I've done now is saying, okay, I have a video. I want to get more views on the video. Then I want to retarget people who watch the video with this next piece of content that I think it'll tie in. If they like this, then they'll like that.
Yes.
And again, laying out that plan and then reverse engineering. What pieces do I have to create? Because that means before I do this video, I want to think of or get created the second piece of content so that I can say, okay, whoever watches this, retarget every time someone watches that audience will continue to grow. So that's yeah.
It's a little bit of extra work, but it's worth it.
It is. I was going to say it is a lot of work, but again, to get away from the intimidation factor, jump in and play with and set aside a small budget and look at it as your education in Facebook ads and just say, I'm going to take this small budget and I'm going to learn. I'm going to practice with a couple ads, measure the results and see what happens.
And it doesn't take a lot. I mean, you really truly can do it on the very cheap.
Right. I'm looking to see if anyone, I just realized, okay, I didn't even look to see if there were questions. There are no questions. So if anybody feels, if they have a question that we haven't covered, if you're not too intimidated or overwhelmed by Facebook ads to throw out questions, throw those out here and we will answer those questions for you. But Hollie, thank you so much for, and we'll answer these on Facebook. We'll continue to answer them. So, sorry, I didn't invite everybody to answer questions or to ask questions throughout, but definitely throw your questions out. We will answer those, and don't be intimidated. That's the bottom line.
Definitely don't. Just try it out.
Just try it out. Jump in there. And Hollie, this is so fun. We need to do another Facebook Live together. We'll have to just think of another topic because you've got great wisdom to share.
Oh, well, you know what? It's so much fun for me just to have someone else that's into the same thing. No one that I know wants to hear any more about any of it. So it's awesome to have someone to talk to about it.
It is. I was going to say, just someone else to shop with. It's always fun. And it's one of those things that, some people, it's like Facebook ads is way over their head or they don't ever see a need to do it. Or they think they should always outsource it. And I always say you should at least learn it on your own.
So
then you outsource it. Yeah. At least you know what's going on.
Yes.
Don't let people take you for granted or take advantage of you or take you for granted. But yeah, get in there and learn a little bit so that you're more knowledgeable when you outsource it.
Yes.
So
and thank you for having me on, Dina. It's been fun to be a little part of your world over here for a minute.
It was so fun. It was so fun. Well, we will definitely do this again. And thank you everyone for tuning in and let us know how we can help. Thanks, Hollie.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.